Hello and welcome to Brodual. It's certainly been a while, but we're back with another fantastic mod by the name of Andromeda. Coming from the author of the Apocalypse spell package and Ordinator, Andromeda offers a complete overhaul of the standing stones of Skyrim. The vanilla stones are one of the most mundane parts of building your character. Only a couple are actually worth getting, and even then it's not like they'll significantly impact your gameplay in any meaningful way. There's also no reward for discovering them all. Andromeda aims to fix this by offering 2 new abilities per stone, and then an extra unlockable power for each stone after you discover them all. The new abilities tend to fall in line with what you'd expect, but they've been chosen to make each stone feel more unique. The author seems to have taken 3 main things into account: the stone's original effect, the stone's name, and finally how each one should affect certain playstyles. For example, the Shadow Stone in Vanilla simply gives you an invisibility power once a day, which is certainly handy, but it hardly feels like you've been blessed by the power of the Shadow. With Andromeda, the Shadow's first ability lets you move 20% faster in combat. Its second ability then boosts your effectiveness when hiding in the shadows, by enhancing your sneak when you're near a wall or obstacle. The Shadow's unlockable power, Shadow Step, will then let you pounce from the darkness, letting you dash towards a nearby target. Combining all 3 of these together will really enhance the stealthy playstyle, particularly in close quarters. You'll be incredibly quick and agile as you sneak from wall to wall as you pounce from target to target. My personal go-to standing stone, the Steed, is another example of one that stays fairly in tune with its vanilla counterpart, but is once again more unique. Its first ability will boost your carry weight and enhances your ability to detect nearby landmarks on the map. Its second ability, Gallop, will then let you run faster and for longer when outside of combat. It now also comes with the incredibly handy power, the Bag of Holding, which lets you summon an extra dimensional storage space to stash or retrieve items. So you can definitely see how the Steed almost quite literally blesses you with the power of having your very own noble steed. It's the idea that a steed enhances your ability to explore, to travel faster and for longer, and to of course carry around your items. The emphasis on the stone's name can be seen more dramatically in certain abilities. The new Lover Stone is probably the best example, since it steps away from its vanilla effect entirely and instead blesses you with the power of love. The Secret Admirer ability will occasionally gift you with a random enchanted piece of gear, while the Testament of Undying Love will give you the courage to cheat death every 15 minutes. Its unlockable power, the Lover's Kiss, is particularly unique in that it lets you magically bond yourself to another NPC. Once bonded, you can then call them to your location regardless of where they are in the world, no matter how much time and space separates you. So if you assign yourself to the Lover's Stone, you can finally defeat Alduin and end the Civil War with nothing but the power of love. Another one of our favourites is the new Ritual Stone. Instead of letting you simply raise the dead around you once a day, you can now perform a ritual to collect the memories of any violently slain NPCs, friend or foe. These memories will then be bonded to your character, occasionally resurrecting their image to fight for you when you most need it. So hours and hours later into a playthrough, that old bandit chief you defeated could come back to help you. Or maybe an old fallen ally can return to fight alongside you once more. These are the types of niche playstyle tweaks that you can expect from each stone. They aren't necessarily enough to build an entire playstyle around, but they're enough to offer a fresh twist on how you play. The new Atronach stone, for example, would be great for spell swords, since it completely removes your magicka regeneration in return for the ability to absorb magic from slain targets. As long as you keep your magicka high, your spells will also deal significantly more damage. So as you cut down your enemies with your sword, you get to occasionally unleash your magicka in a more devastating fashion. Or if you're playing a hardy Nord and you want to stay away from magic entirely, you might want to consider the Lord stone. This removes your ability to regenerate stamina in combat, but in return you can use power attacks whenever you want. You will deal significantly more damage with your power attacks when you have stamina, but even when you're completely out of energy, the Will of the Lord grants you power to swing your weapon with almost as much might. The Lord's unlockable power can also force your enemies to bend the knee once a day, which throws them to the ground and absorbs their stamina. Altogether, Andromeda offers a great selection of new powers and abilities to the game, assisted by some fantastic new art and scripting. We've only shown you a selection of what's on offer, so be sure to check out the mod page for a full list of the new abilities. Or as we prefer to do, you can discover them for yourselves in game. The mod is fully compatible alongside pretty much every other mod out there, including the author's other mods and any character creation overhauls, even those that add birth signs. So if you're interested, then you can find everything you need down below. And just before we wrap up today's spotlight, we'd like to thank Rave for sponsoring this episode. Rave is an app for both Android and iOS that lets you seamlessly watch videos with your friends at the same time, regardless of where they are in the world. It achieves this by perfectly synchronizing videos across all of your friends' devices, letting you text and chat at the same time. Whether you're watching a Let's Play together on YouTube or binging an entire series on Netflix, it all syncs up perfectly. To get the app today, you can find a link for your app store down below. And that's the end of today's video. As always, be sure to leave endorsements on any mod you enjoy, be sure to check out g2a.com, and thanks for watching.